So, if you've watched the last two videos, this is a continuation of a series, and today I wanted to ask, do you or have you heard of the science of reading? And if you're a little bit confused, or if you might have an idea of what it is, stay tuned to find out more.
So what is the science of reading? Let's get started. So the official definition by a group called the Reading League, which I highly recommend, they say it's a vast interdisciplinary body of scientifically based research about reading and issues related to reading and writing. So what you need to know is that it's not officially a program. It's more of a political statement or a understanding that has a long history and it's a human-made history and it's should be rooted in science. So, this is a resource from Australia Decodables, and this is a resource from Amplify. I'm going to talk about this one first. So, I first saw this on social media years ago, and I love it because it actually transcends internationally, and it definitely helped me as a USA-based mom. So, it says, don't be afraid to ask your child's school about how they teach reading. So, some good or green flags that you want to hear are that they used an evidence-based approach. You want to hear that they are using structured literacy. You want to hear that they're using explicit teaching, phonemic awareness, systematic synthetic phonics, fluency, comprehension, vocabulary, decodable readers, authentic books for language comprehension, sound and spelling walls, tiered interventions, MTSS, evidence-based assessments, or universal screeners. Now, the red flags, or what you don't want to hear. If your school says they're using a whole language approach, if they're saying balanced literacy, if they're saying an immersion, and that comes to reading, not language, but immersion reading, or if they use leveled readers, or if you see word walls, or if they are using literacy-rich experiences, or they're just using good fit books, or they're doing guided reading, or popcorn reading, or reading recovery, or benchmark assessments, those are red flags. So this resource from Amplify really helped me as well. So when you understand science of reading, yes, it's kind of a buzzword at this point, but you want to hear what's associated with it is decodable readers, helping students with phonics, following a clear instructional path, teaching the content, and providing students with phonics instruction. What it is not, it's not including level readers, it's not 3Qing, it's not word guessing, it's not a choose your own adventure, it's not isolated comprehension strategies, and it's not providing mini lessons. So I say structured literacy, and what do I mean by that? So I am a International Dyslexia Association member, and they define it as an umbrella term to unify and encompass the many evidence-based programs and approaches that are aligned to knowledge and practice standards. So these are effective um, practices for students identified with dyslexia or specific learning disability, but you want to know that this approach is actually beneficial for all students. This means neurotypical, neurodivergent, if you have dyslexia or don't, it works. And its teaching is the most effective approach for all students who experience an unusual difficulty in learning to read or spelling printed words. The term refers to both the content and the methods or the principles of instruction. So I've shown this to you before in other videos, but if you've seen this in a classroom, this is what whole language looks like. It's usually Fountas and Pinnell or Lucy Calkins, units of study, or leveled books. They have guessing strategies. They want you to memorize sight words, and they expect you to only learn read alouds as if it's osmosis, which skips the orthographic mapping. So what does SOR or science of reading or structured literacy actually look like? So it's not one thing. You notice I'm not putting any brand names up here. Really what you want to know is that the teacher has training and that they are knowledgeable. And honestly, no matter what they use, that they know how to use it. So what this means is that the teacher should be trained in fluent word reading and language and comprehension. So when we talk about fluent word reading, we're meaning phonological awareness, phonics and decoding, advanced phonics, and automatic word recognition. And then when it comes to comprehension, they should be trained in vocabulary, morphology, knowledge, syntax, grammars, higher level language skills, and I'd include writing and handwriting and cursive in that as well. So what does structured literacy look like? So this is a general outline, and I've shown this in a different video, but this is actually pulled from the Massachusetts Department of Education. And so what they're saying is that in kindergarten, this is what you should expect. First grade, second grade, and third grade. And there's even states and countries that expand this from K to fifth grade because you want to understand that depending on your student and their background knowledge or their ability to learn this information, they could either go faster or slower than other people. So essentially, you want to know that the English language has an alphabet, and every alphabet has an alphabetic code, and children need the tools to learn to break or understand that alphabetic code. So this is a reference from Nessie Learning or Nessie.com, and they explain this in their free ebook. But an alphabetic principle means knowing all the phonic sounds and how they connect together. So in the English language, we generally have 44 different sounds, and they're displayed here. The asterisk shows that they make more than one sound. So once you learn these sounds and the alphabet, then you can put them together. So if you learn then you can read the words sat, pat, tap, and so on. Now, this is a resource from Number Blocks, which I really, or Alpha Blocks and Number Blocks. They're both BBC, and this is from Twinkle. My family really loves them. But children do need to know the difference between vowels and consonants because the vowels are what make the words make a sound. And vowels are very important for syllables and breaking down words and understanding multisyllabic words. So just like the previous resource, they recommend first, and so on, and this is called a scope and sequence. So why is it important? That's because all human brains are wired for language. We have to explicitly teach human brains how to read. So if you can also read a word, that means you should have the confidence to spell that word. So when you learn how to read and you say each sound and you blend them together and you go from left and right to make the word cat, then you should be able to say the whole word, break it into chunks, call it segmenting, and spell the word C-A-T to make the word cat. So one resource I really love is Starfall. They have decodable books that you can purchase or use online. And essentially what a decodable book is that it follows these scope and sequences, and they usually start with short vowels, and then they go to vowel pals or vowel teams, and then they go on to longer vowels, and they work on higher or more accelerated phonics and working on chunking to get your student into reading multisyllabic words. So are you interested in learning more? I'm going to show you a few resources because thankfully lots of people care about literacy. So in the USA, we have a National Center on Improving Literacy. Their website is improvingliteracy.org, and they have a lot of good resources. And then I do highly recommend the book Why Johnny Can't Read. It is older, it's from 1955, but it's one of the first exposés to really expose why whole language doesn't work, and not just on the local level, but also on the university higher education level. Then we have, if you're interested in movies, there's a Right to Read movie that I believe is free on Tubi and other places. There's the Truth About Reading movie, and then I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it on Hulu, but it's Sentence by Steph Curry, who's a famous NBA basketball player. But all three of these movies talk about the literacy crisis. And then if you like podcasts, like let's say you're on the ride to drop off or pick up your kids, or if you're going somewhere traveling, the number one podcast you want to listen to is going to be Sold a Story. Then there's Literacy View podcast, Dear Reading Teacher podcast, Amplify, there's Literacy Talks, Melissa and Lori Love Literacy, Together in Literacy podcast, and the Literacy View. Actually, I put that twice, but it's really good. Now, if you're looking for resources, there is a website called IMSE. It's the Institute for Multisensory Education. Now, not everybody loves multisensory, but Orton Gillingham is the first one to incorporate multisensory education into structured literacy. So they have a lot of good free resources as well, but you can pay for them as well. I personally am biased. I love Cox Campus. That's where I got my training. This is an old screenshot, so it probably doesn't look like this anymore. They just upgraded, and you can actually use their course to take another test to become a certified structured literacy teacher. Then there's Logic of English, which I know a lot of secular homeschoolers love Logic of English, but it's free resources as well. Then there's UFLY, or University of Florida Literacy Institute. So they are very good. They have a lot of free resources. They do have a manual that you can purchase that I know a lot of public school teachers are purchasing, and they love them. And then they also have recently collaborated with this website, which is projectread.ai. So I know they're in the process of making like an assessment that you can do online, but they use artificial intelligence to make decodable generators. They have an AI tutor, and you have to go to their website to see what is free, but I do know they offer certain free things. And then Mrs. Wordsmith, you've seen me reference this in other videos. They have a lot of free resources. They have a lot of games, either digital games or board games. But we love free resources here. And then there's this phonicsandstuff.com. So this is actually a mom that made this website, and I've been using it in my homeschool journey, my tutoring journey, and kids really love it. And I even uploaded it on my kids' tablet, and they play it by themselves. Her newest one is Morphine Mix, which I'm really excited about. But she also makes worksheet generators as well. And then this is Blend Phonics. So Don Potter has been in the literacy game for decades now. He is a teacher, a tutor. He is a wonderful documenter of the history of the reading wars. His wealth of knowledge is profound. He actually digitized a lot of Rudolph Flesch's work, and he still tutors daily to this day. Then we have the Reading League, which I've referenced before. Highly recommend them. They work with the Reading Buddies. They made it. So the Reading Buddies is a free YouTube channel video service where you can watch it and your kids can learn, and they include multisensory as well. Then, like I've mentioned before, Alpha Blocks, they're on YouTube. I love them. And then PBS Kids. We love PBS Kids in my household. If you have them on your tablet or the app, you can get it on your phone, or if you get your local PBS service. But also on YouTube, they have a movie called Rocket Saves the Day, and it really helps in a kid-friendly way break down how we decode words. And then we have Nessie Learning. I've mentioned them before. In October, they have a lot of resources. I got free training on October for Dyslexia Awareness Month. But online, they have a lot of homeschool resources or teacher resources, parent resources, and they're printable and downloadable as well. And then this is teachingbyscience.com. I believe they are a nonprofit, but they have free science of reading resources, and they've kind of done what a lot of advocates have done is, you compile all your freebies, and they've made it available to the public. So I highly recommend this website and his books. All right, then there's Phonic Books. So this is UK based, but it's through DK Learning, which I'm biased. I love DK Books, and they have free resources, but they also offer their resources in America as well. And then this is Reading Bear. It's actually made by the same creators of Wikipedia, and it's completely free, and they have videos. It walks you through, and it can actually teach your kid to read totally free. But it goes through a whole scope and sequence, and it uses structured literacy. And then this is Starfall. It is mostly free. I believe there's like portions that you can pay for, but if you just need some free decodable access, they absolutely have it. I've used it with tutor students, and they do love it. And then this is another resource called Reading Doctor. This is out of Australia, and they let you download their free decodable readers. But I believe they have like an AI tutor as well, but it depends on their prices. And then if you're looking for more free decodable books, there is the Right to Read Initiative website, and they have a wealth, including some of the resources I've already included here for free decodable books. And again, I'll put in there's free training with Cox Campus, and they keep expanding this, and I'm so excited to see them grow. But if you've enjoyed this video, stay tuned. I'm making another one. But thank you so much for watching.